In the autumn season of the year 2017, Yanmu is having a fight with his wife when she asks him to take her brother Shiwan out as he buys to want a car. Yanmu refuses to follow her order, saying that he has no more money, which angers his wife as she slaps him, asking where is his salary for this month. Yanmu is fed up when his wife throws water at him and shouts at her, saying that he has no money because her parents bought a car and house for her brother's wedding from his money, and even if his income is over 100 million it would not be enough for her family. His wife says that they are his family too, but Yanmu angrily replies that he has had enough of this family, to which his wife says that then he should go and die if he doesn't care about this family. Yanmu replies that he is not afraid of dying, and listening to this his wife says that he should wait for her to buy an accident insurance before doing something like that. Shocked by his wife's cold behavior, Yanmu doesn't waste any time and jumps out of the building, killing himself. Surprisingly, instead of fully dying, he travels back in time to July 2009 when he was asking for his wife Ilixel's hand in marriage to her family. He is shocked to wake up back in time, but this time decides to do things differently, as he suffered a lot at the hands of the Fang family's greediness in his past life, and as they demand $400,000 as the bride price, he refuses to accept their offer. The Fang family is shocked by his answer, but he stands up saying that he will not give them a penny as a bride price. Ilixel is surprised by his behavior and asks him why is he doing this, to which Yanmu replies that she should ask this question to her mother, as it seems like she is trying to sell her daughter instead of marrying her. Ilixel replies that it was not easy for her parents to raise her, so they should get some bride price, but Yanmu is not fazed by her this time and asks what she can give him in return instead of a loser brother who only wants money. Hearing Yanmu talking about him, her brother Shiwan goes to hit Yan, but this time Yan decides to fight back and easily pins down Shiwan. They're happy that they guys who were bullying them for a long time are being beaten. Just then the ambulance arrives there, and after checking the patient, doctors tells the workers to not block the road because he needs the blood transfusion, and they have to shift him to the hospital quickly. Kang turns to Yan asking him what are the next arrangements, to which Yan says that they will resettle these workers first. He says that they don't need to find another engineering team for the project they are doing today, so they don't have to worry about work. The workers turn to Yan asking him if they were owed half a year's salary before, and if they stayed would it will happen again, and what will they do if this time they ran away with the money. Yan says to them that they don't have to worry, as the company will draw up an employment contract with them to ensure the payment of their salary as well as their personal safety at work, and they will receive a dividend at the end of the year. The workers are happy with the decision to sign the contract, while Kai Bao says to Kang that it is the first time he heard that he has signed a contract and paid dividends to civilian workers. Kang replies that without him the company would have collapsed, to which Kai Bao adds that he is rich and capable. Kai Bao then asks him what should they do with the thugs, but he instead tells Kai Bao to look at Yan, who is approaching them. Yan says that they have to deal with the situation in a way that it is not harming the company's reputation in the future, and the civilian workers who were injured tonight, his medical expense will be paid by the company so that this situation will not occur again. Kang replies that he will take care of the follow-up and make sure that nothing will go wrong. Yan then leaves after saying goodbye to them, while Kang says to Kai Bao that this kid is a man with a goal and is better at business than him. He says that Kai Bao should wait a little bit as he will definitely change his mind, as they all believe him. He says that Kai Bao should wait a little bit as he will definitely change his mind, as they all believe in him once. Yan goes back to his house, thinking of his parents are back home yet, and is welcomed by Ming, who asks him why is he so late today. Yan replies that he is late because he had some company business to take care of. Ming replies that she noticed he is working harder than before and is because he is marrying Ilixel and have to double the money. Yan tells her to not think about it and says that she will take her to a place tomorrow, secretly hoping to fulfill her wish of living in a big house. She asks him if he can tell her where they are going, but Yan only replies that she will find out tomorrow and tells her to go and take a rest. Yan is lying on his bed looking at the tattoo on his hand and thinking that the Eye of the Moon Master's God system controls his life but also can continue the life of others and has many other functions. But is that all? Suddenly the tattoo on his hand starts to glow as the system tells him that the host will enter the system space when the surrounding environment is detected as safe. His room transports him to another plane and asks him if he is ready for the inheritance. Yan is confused by the mention of the inheritance and notices his reflection on the water floor, recognizing it as himself before the rebirth. The system tells him that his rebirth has AC triggered the collapse of space-time, and his daily consumption of survival points at the same time used to maintain the stability of space-time, but space-time, i.e. affected by external forces, now needs him to accept the inheritance of the Lord God, otherwise the world will soon be annihilated. He is shocked to find that the world will be annihilated, but before he could understand what is happening, the system notifies him that the preparations are underway to pass on. He shouts that he is not ready, but the system continues to work and tells him that after the end of the inheritance, the system level is limited and no more tasks will be issued to him. Yan thinks that the system pities him from the start, and just then the system tells him that inheritance is completed and he should check the host's personal panel. He checks the panel and is confused to find that inheritance progress is still 1% even after it was completed. The system notify him that due to the lack of basic attributes of the host, temporarily cannot get all inherited abilities. The next day when he wakes up, Yan is annoyed by all this and says to himself that he should forget about this because as long as he is alive, he will be able to figure out everything one day. Ning comes to his room with fruits and reminds him that he has to take her somewhere today. Yan replies that he almost forgot about it and they will go later to the place. They walk down Zhongcheng's city street and Ming spot Elixir with Ma, as she seems unconscious while he is taking her inside. Ming says to Yan that it seems like there is something wrong with Elixir, but Yan tells her to not care about it, saying that it is her own choice. They go to the Blue Water Bay sales department, but Ming still continues to ask him what happened between him and Elixir. Yan tells her to stop talking and says that she should go to see the house first because later the sales department will be closed. They are welcomed by a female employee who asks them if they are looking for a house. Yan tells her that he wants to see the villa, but she replies that he can't afford to buy a villa and if he wants to see a house, he can go to the small house there and as long as he pays the down payment, he can pay the rest slowly. Ming says to him that this is under the Shenxia group and the houses here are too expensive. Does he really wants to buy it? Yan replies that he wants to give her a villa as she always wanted to live in a big house. The employee again interrupts him asking if he knows how much villas cost here and really wants to buy them. Yan replies that he wants to buy a villa and ignores Ming, who says that they should go back. The woman again says that they are wearing cheap clothes and want to buy a villa, which angers Ming, and she says they should leave the place. Before they could leave, a man comes there who recognizes Yan and shows his surprise at seeing him after a long time. Yan recognizes the man as Zhu Fei, his junior high school classmate who is now an accomplished businessman, and greets him saying that it has been many years since he saw him. Zhu Fei says that he really hasn't changed a bit and he remembers that his family conditions are not good as his clothes are bought on the ground and he can wear a random shirt for years. Yan ignores his statement and instead asks him what he is doing now while remembering from his previous life that Zhu Fei done a small business that went bankrupt in a few years. Zhu Fei says that he has a small business and wants to buy an extra house to keep and asks him if he also came to see the house and it must be a small apartment. The employee quickly jumps into the conversation saying that the house also symbolizes the status of a person and people like Zhu Fei are the young talent. Zhu Fei disregards her comment while laughing and then turns to Yan saying that he has a business to discuss with him later and is hoping that he will be free later or else he can choose the house first as it will not take long for Yan to do so. Yan replies that he has nothing to do and Zhu Fei comes first so they can discuss the business without any delay. Zhu Fei goes with the employee to see the house while Yan tells Ming to wait for him, saying that he will be back after making a call. Zhu Fei decides to choose the apartment and makes the payment of $2 million right away while thinking to himself that he finally has the chance to be more popular than Yan through money. He notices Ming standing alone and goes there, asking her if Yan ran away because he couldn't afford to lose to this person. He is interrupted by Yan, who comes there saying that he wants to buy a house. He can't run away from here and something came up so he had to make them wait a little bit. Zhu Fei asks him what kind of house he wants to buy and asks if he needs his help for reference. Zhu Fei then says to Yan that his father is still at the construction site so he should send him to Fei as he will let him move 2 bricks less and gives a few $100s more, as it is a good virtue to help people. Ming is enraged by his statement and says that he can't trample on someone's dignity just because of little money and Uncle Yan earns money through his hard work, so Fei is not more noble than him. Zhu Fei replies that he is just helping him. It is not trampling his dignity and after all money is the hard truth of the society. Ming again goes to say something else but Yan stops her and says to Fei that he appreciates his kindness but if he said something out of tune, he shouldn't blame for the consequences. Zhu Fei replies that he is king to help him but they have to educate him because he is so poor that he can't understand anything. The employees murmur that Yan is making a big deal when he can't afford a house so Zhu Fei tells her to call the guards and kick him saying that he is ruining my mood. Just then a bank employee comes there and gives Yan his gold card. The housing department manager also comes out and asks about all the noise, which the employee Ajin quickly replies that this man Yan can't afford to buy their house but is still trying to stir things here. Yan ignores them and shows his card to the manager, who is shocked to see the card and quickly bows to him, apologizing for the trouble they caused him and says that she will be personally at his service. Pajin says to her manager how can she allow a man like him to stay here, but the manager ignores her and again apologizes to Yan, saying that her employees are not aware of Taishan. Zhu Fei also steps into the conversation, saying that he is a big customer who just bought a house and they should respect him, not Yan. The manager turns to Zhu Fei and asks him if he knows the gold card in Yan's hand, but Fei replies that it is only a crappy card. He He says that he is a VIP customer of the bank and snatches the card from Yan's hand but is shocked to find that Yan is an SVIP customer. Zhu Fei is speechless and asks Yan if he stole it, but Yan just ignores him while thinking that there were 2 villas in this place. After a few years, the house price soared and it was not a problem to earn several times. He turns to the manager and asks for the price of the 2 villas right in the middle, to which he tells him that the price of both villas is 10 million. Yan gives her his card and tells her that he will buy the apartments. Ajin quickly takes the card, saying that she will show him the apartment, but Yan angrily tells her to put the card down, saying that he can give his $20 million business to anyone as performance except her. The manager says to Ajin that she will personally handle the transaction for Yan and she doesn't have to come to work from tomorrow onwards. Zhu Fei again approaches Yan, saying that he didn't expect that Yan is so well mixed now and they should go out for drinks later. Yan doesn't reply to him and the manager instead calls the security and instructs them to take him out. Yan then goes to the system and asks if the skill of luck is able to check the luck of the others and how he can use the skill. The system informs him that the lucky host's basic skill allows him to observe the level of luck of a person or an object as he wishes, and the host can use this skill to identify treasures. Yan is satisfied to find that as long as he wants, he can see other people's luck, and these skills seem quite practical. Zhu Fei, who is being dragged out by the guards, continues to shout that Yan shouldn't be this angry and they can later go out to have a meal together. Yan sees a black aura around Zhu Fei and says that due to his black aura, recently everything must be unlucky, and advise him as an old classmate that he should act more carefully or else he will regret it. Zhu Fei is dragged out by the guard while Ajin begs the manager to not fire her, saying that her father has been sick for so many years and if she didn't have a job he will die. Seeing all this situation, Ming worriedly comments that she seems so pitiful, so Yan tells the manager to give her another chance. Yan then turns to Ming and is surprised to see the golden aura around her, thinking that her luck is golden, which means that she must be doing well in life. Just then some old ladies approach him, saying that he is a handsome young man and it is a shame that he has no girlfriend, but they can introduce him to someone if he wants. Yan quickly hugs Ming, saying that she is his girlfriend and that he brought her here today to buy a house. He then whispers to Ming to cooperate with him, saying that he doesn't want to go on a blind date, making her blush with his statement. Suddenly Yan gets a message on his phone and he is surprised to see that it is from Ilixil. Yan opens the message, in which Ilixil tells him that she is at Shengshan 606 and asks for his help. Yan realizes that maybe she didn't willingly go to the hotel with Ma, and after seeing the message, Ming also says that he should help her because no matter what is going on between them, if he didn't help her now he will regret it later. Yan says that it is no longer his concern, but Ming says that it will be really late if he didn't go and she will wait here for him to come back. Yan finally agrees to go and leaves after telling her to wait for him and not run away anywhere. At the Shengshan Hotel, Ilixil is in the room with Ma, who tries to force himself on her, saying that he has money and power and her family introduced her to him so he can look at her. She tries to stop him, but he says that she shouldn't act to be innocent when she came with him willingly, and forces himself on her again. Before he could do anything, the door to their room opens and Yan comes in. Ma is shocked to see him and asks how he got here, to which Ming replies that it is not important how he got here, and that he had filmed what Ma was doing just now. Ma rushes toward him, intending to take the phone from him, but Yan easily hits him, sending him down on the floor. Ma is angry by this and says that he will not only sleep with Yan's woman but also find someone to give him some good beating so he will know how tough he is. Yan kicks him again, asking him to repeat what he said, to which Ma says that he is no good and no woman will want to look at him. Yan again goes to kick Ma, who quickly apologizes, saying it is his fault, and begs him to not hit his face again. Yan leaves him and goes to Ilixil, who complains that her body is getting hot. Yan figures that she was drugged and picks her up, saying he will take her to the bathroom so she could wash up and clear her head. He leaves her in the bathtub, saying that he is leaving now but she can call him again if he needs him. Ma is still outside the door, thinking that he will see how many times can Yan save her. Yan again comes here and kicks him again, asking if he wants to just leave. Ma angrily says to Yan that he is hitting him, but he didn't even touch her, so what is he trying to do? Yan replies that he should not forget how he got Ilixil here in the first place, and this video is the proof of that, and he can go now if he is not afraid of the video. Ma asks him what he wants, to which Yan replies that he has the money and wants to use it to buy the woman, so now if he wants to keep the video a secret, he has to pay some money. Ma replies that he is working with Ilixil to ruin him, and does he really thinks he will get money this way? Yan calmly says that since he refuses the offer, he shouldn't regret what he will see on the internet tomorrow. Ma says that does he think Shengshan Hotel listens to everyone's words? The manager will not transfer the surveillance for him and he is not falling for his tricks. Yan shows him the emergency card of the hotel saying that he will not believe him when he tells him that he knows the hotel manager. Ma asks him how he got the emergency card but he ignores his questions and instead asks him if he thought about the offer while thinking to himself that it was good that manager Yang came with them and they were able to get this room card. Ma finally gives in, realizing that his life will be finished if these videos go out, and asks Yan how much money he wants and 5 million would be enough. Yan replies that he wants 40 million, shocking Ma, who says that he can't pay that much and instead accidentally offers 30 million. He quickly corrects himself saying that he can pay 10 million but Yan says that he will have to pay 30 million and he hopes Ma can keep his word or else the pictures will be exposed. Just then Elixir comes out after taking the shower and seeing Ma still there, saying that it seems that 30 million are not a problem for him. Ma leaves after saying that he is unlucky today so he is in her hands today but he will see her later. After he leaves, Yan asks her if she is okay, to which she thanks in reply. He says that he will leave then, but Elixir stops her and asks if it is true that he wants TP spend 15 million to invest in Nebula Group. Yan instead asks her didn't she sees him transferring money to Nebula on the spot. She again asks him how and where did he got so much money suddenly. Yan is angry with her question and asks if money is more important to her than feeling and says that if she values money so much, then why is she with him again? He can leave saying that it is safe now and she can go back home. Yan goes back to the Blue Water Bay sales department and calls Ming, who immediately asks him if the matter has been resolved. He says that the matter is solved, thanks to the manager Yang this time. He then asks Ming if she is anxious, to which she replies that she is a little bit anxious mainly because she is getting off work and manager Yang has been here with her all the time. Yan then turns to Yang saying that he will pay the money first and do the other procedures tomorrow as it will take her too much time. Meanwhile, Ma is sitting in his office, injured by Yan's beating, and is getting massages from his workers. They ask him who beat him like that, saying that they will find someone to clean up for him, to which Ma replies that it was the same person that beat them up. His team is angry that Yan tried to bully Ma this time, but he asks them to forget about it for now and instead check the Fang family first as he wants to see the Fang family's daughter, while thinking that he should get this girl first before paying $30 million. Elixir's parents are sitting in their home waiting for her to come back as Mr. Fang says that it has been a whole day and she still didn't come back. His wife replies that if he is a real man, he should know that by now, and it must catch Ma's attention and let Elixir be with him all night. Just then Elixir comes there and her mother rushes to her saying that it was so late that they thought she wouldn't come back. Elixir replies that they didn't have to deal with it and tells her how Ma drugged him and tried to rape him in the hotel, but thanks to Yan who saved her. Listening to Yan's name, her father gets angry and asks her what she wants with her as he already broke up with her and is now creating trouble. Elixir replies that Yan seems different from before. He invested 15 million in the investment meeting and she heard that he also bought a real estate company. Her mother replies that it seems like he has developed and they can't let go of such a good son-in-law. Elixir tries to say that she has broken up with her, but her mother quickly comes to her saying that she is forbidding her to say that and he has money so she must bring him back. Somewhere in the city, in an internet cafe, a boy is playing a game when he is approached by another boy who praises his game and asks him if he is a pro. The boy replies that he just plays casually, which can be compared with the professionals. But the second boy says that he is humble as his level is extraordinary and suggests that they should befriend and play 2 games together. They play the game until night when they are approached again by a man who praises the first boy's playing style. Listening to this, second boy says that there is the point in just competing, so they should make a bet, and whoever loses will have to buy a pack of cigarettes for all of them and the winner will be called Dad. They play games for 3 hours and the first boy loses after that and goes to leave the cafe thinking that his girlfriend is already asking for money. And now he has met 2 scammers, but he is stopped by the group who says that he can't disobey the rules and goes to beat him for that. Meanwhile, Yan is at home looking at the system, while talking himself that he paid a point for buying a house, but it consumed 1 point yesterday, and this system is a scam. The system tells him that because it has extracted the survival account required for the upgrade, he shouldn't be concerned as it shouldn't be a problem. Yan asks what can they upgrade to that requires so many survival points, to which the system tells him that the appearance of the host after the upgrade is determined by the host's idea. However, the upgraded system has an entity and tells him to pay attention to his own thoughts. He is surprised to find that it works based on his thoughts, and is interrupted when his phone starts ringing. He is surprised to see that Elixir is calling him again, but still picks up the call but finds that it is Elixir's mother on the phone. She says that she wants to tell him something, and even though he is suspicious about what this family wants again, he still asks her what is it. The woman says that he always wanted to marry Elixir, and it is not impossible, but their family has two conditions. She says that the first condition is that all of his bank cards must be handed over to them, and the second is that as soon as he enters the door of the Fang family, he will be immediately of the Fang family, and whoever in the family has any problem, he must help them unconditionally, and as long as he fulfill these two conditions, he can marry Elixir. Yan calmly says that there is one thing he wants to say, and when she asks what is it, he shouts at her, telling her to not bother him again. The next day, Yan and Ming go to the Blue Water Bay sales department again, where the manager brings him the contract and tells him that all the formalities have been sorted out. When he doesn't reply to her, Ming asks him what is wrong with him, as manager Yang has been standing here for half day, and he is ignoring her. Yan quickly apologizes to the manager, who says that it is okay and asks if he needs to check the documents again. He says that there is no need for that and leaves after manager Yang tells him that if they have any questions they can come to see her. They are walking back home when they bump into Elixir again, who after seeing him says that he is really here. He asks her what she wants while thinking to himself that even though he already made it clear, but Fang family still doesn't give up. Elixir says to him that her brother Xiaoyu injured someone in the internet cafe, and now the other party wants them to take 5 million to ransom him. Yan replies that her brother's trouble is not his problem and goes to walk away, but she stops him again, saying that they can go to the hotel as he always wanted to have further contact with her, and she agrees to it now. Yan harshly snatches his arm from her hold and says that he liked Elixir, who knows self-respect and has a bottom line, not the current Elixir who can sell her body for money. Elixir starts crying and says that her brother is still in the cafe, and her family can't raise that much money, so she has no choice. Yan says that he will help her on only one condition, that they will not bother him again with Fang's business, but Elixir says that they are her family and he is the only one she can find. Yan says that if this is the case it is not necessary to talk about it, and walks away with Ming, who asks him if he is really not going to help Elixir as she looks really sad. Yan coldly replies that he has nothing to do with her, which surprised Ming as she says that he was not such a cold person before, and asks him if it is true that his long-standing relationship with Elixir is over. Yan replies that it was worn out in their previous life, and then tells Ming to go home, saying that he is going to an internet cafe. In the internet cafe, Xiaoyu the gamer boy is getting beaten by the boys, who say that he is daring for hurting their friend and ask him where is the money. Xiaoyu replies that they are all in this together and set him up. The group just lied and says that his family was the one who provoked Ma, and if he didn't bring the money, they will cut his finger and send it to his house. Yan finally comes there, and the boy sitting at the door tries to stop him, saying that the internet cafe is closed today, but Yan punches him and goes inside, where everyone is surprised to see him there. After looking at the people, Yan says that it is good there are a lot of people here as he can try his hand. Yan looks into the system for a strength pill and decides that 3 survival points for a pill are enough to deal with all these thugs. Xiaoyu says that he must have come here because of his sister and he should quickly get the money to pay these thugs. One of the thugs also says that he still owes him 500,000, and it now become 1 million, and he should bring the money and they will let Xiaoyu go. Yan says that why he should give money, and after hearing his statements Xiaoyu shouts at him to stop making jokes and quickly pay the money. Yan is furious by this and dares all of them to try saying another word. He slowly moves toward them, and is not fazed when the thug tries to threaten him with the knife, and instead punches him, easily knocking him down with one hit. He then starts to beat up other while one of the thugs call Ma, telling him that Yan is here. Xiaoyu is happy with Yan's fighting, thinking that they don't have to pay ransom now, which means that the money will be his. When Yan is done beating all of them, Xiaoyu approaches him, saying that he should have come earlier if he can fight so well, and if he doesn't want to be pursued by his family, he should get down on his knees now, apologize and give him the ransom. Yan asks if he is serious, to which Xiaoyu says that he is serious and that if he didn't follow his order he will let his sister go with another man. Yan goes near him and slaps him, then says that if he doesn't want to go home, he just has to say that, and if his sister didn't beg him to help him, he would have never bothered to come here. Yan is about to leave the place but is stopped by Ma, who is there with a lot of thugs, and orders them to get their weapons and beat him up. Yan figures that there are too many people and if he can't hide he will be killed here. Just then the system notifies him that on his request the system has redeemed an agility pill for him, annoying him that they are changing his pills based on their own initiative. He quickly dodges the attack from a thug, and seeing him trying to fight back, Ma says that he should just accept his defeat as he can't beat all of them. Using his agility pills, Yan moves at a super fast speed, quickly beating all the thugs and standing behind Ma, saying that it seems like he has spoken too soon. He then kicks Ma, pushing him on the ground, and says that he heard Ma wanted to kill him. Ma replies that he said that because Yan has been targeting him and can't he just say this to get back at him. Yan replies that it makes sense, but he is the one who is getting targeted and pushes Ma on the ground, asking him who is he going to pay him for all the time he has wasted because of him. Ma begs him to not hit him, saying that he will pay $20 million. Yan accepts the offer, saying that there is a bank next door, and together with the $30 million from yesterday, all the money will be sent to his account immediately. They go to the nearby bank, and after Yan receives a message of receiving $50 million, Yan tells Ma that he can go now. Ma leaves while planning to get $50 million back from him someday, while Yan turns to Xiaoyu and asks him if he can go home by himself. Xiaoyu shouts at him, saying that will remember the pain he suffered today because of him. Yan asks him if this is how he treats his lifesaver, to which Xiaoyu says that if he didn't provoke those people, he wouldn't have suffered today. Yan says that he really knows how to turn things upside down, and tells him to go away. Xiaoyu runs away, threatening to tell his parents about today's event, while Yan turns to the system to look at his survival points. He is surprised that he just got $50 million, but there is still no change in his survival points, to which the system tells him that because the $50 million is not properly sourced, it cannot be counted as the host's income, and the system has collected all his upgrade resources. Yan angrily says to the system that they have gone too far, as they first bought the pills on their own and now want to take all the survival points for themselves. The system replies that it is all for the good of the host, as when the system is successfully upgraded, the host will get better benefits. Meanwhile, Elixir is at her house when her mother scolds her that she is of no good, as she can't even handle Yanmu, and asks if she wants to see her brother get killed. Elixir replies that she can't do anything, as Yan has completely given up on her. They are interrupted when her brother comes back home, and her mother rushes to attend to him, asking why he came back so suddenly. He asks if she is not happy to see him, to which Mrs. Fang quickly replies that she is very happy, and asks him how he gets beaten up. Xiaoyu says that Elixir sent Yan here to redeem him, but he only was there to embarrass him instead. Elixir is surprised to find that Yan went to save him, while Xiaoyu shows his bruises cheek to his mother, saying that Yan beat him like this even though the people who kidnapped him weren't this tough. Xiaoyu then asks Elixir if she knows all of her money comes from Ma. Mrs. Yang asks her if this is true, to which she replies that she thinks so because she heard Yanmu asking Ma for $30 million when he went to save her. Her mother says that if this is the guy she used to like, as he uses her to make money, and then is suddenly hostile toward him. Elixir says that she will go to him right now and asks for the money, while thinking to herself that this seems to be the real purpose of Yanmai being together with her. Later, Yan is having lunch with Ming, who asks him why he looks so upset from the time he came back, and asks if he is being bullied. Yan quickly replies that it is not the case, and tells her to eat, saying he is ifni. She asks him if he is still thinking about Elixir, and it is the thing she can't talk about. Before she could get a reply, they are interrupted by Elixir, who angrily marches there and asks Yan what is he planning to do. Ming replies to her first, asking why is she here or if she wants to eat with them, but Yan replies to her instead of Elixir, telling her to not worry about that because she is not going to sit with them. He then turned to Elixir and sternly asks her why she came here. Elixir slams her hands on the table and says that first he beat up Xiaoyu, and now he is here with another woman. What is he doing? Yan replies that Ming is his sister, to which Elixir tells her to explain why he beat up Xiaoyu when he went to save him, and is it because she used him and he was upset, so he took revenge on her brother and then find a woman who was not as good as her to piss her off. Yan asks her if she is sick in her head, but she still ignores him and continues to say that he can't spare money to save Xiaoyu, and is it because the money is only for blackmail, and in reality he have no money. Yan replies that he thinks it was way too tongue for him here, and she should remember that whether he is poor or not, his money is not for them, and he will not expect a cent for a bunch of vampires like her family. Ning is confused by all this fuss happening in front of her, while Elixir continues to put blames on him and says that he is worse than her because he turned to another woman as soon as they broke up. Yan finally has enough of her and sternly talks her to stop talking. He then says that what is wrong with him being with another woman, and asks her if she still thinks he can't get over her. He says that if she insists on listening to her brother's nonsense, then it is her choice, and tells her to don't come back to him in future. She still doesn't leave and instead says that he never considered her and just wants to use her, to which Yan asks her if she really have no distinction be between right and wrong. Elixir instead goes to slap him while shouting at him to tell what makes him treat her like that, but he grabs her hand before she could slap him and says that they have already broken up, so she needs to stop acting like an insane person. Elixir finally leaves from there after telling her that she will make him regret this later. After HSE leaves, Ming tells Yan to follow her, but instead of replying to her question, Yan apologizes to her for scaring her like that. Ming replies that it is okay and asks him if Elixir really doesn't have any relationship alone. Yan tells her to not worry about it, saying that he is sure Elixir is thinking about how to get back at him. Later he goes at Fabula's group of office and meet their CEO Zhang, who thanks him for his kindness, saying that the project that lacked capital before has been profitable since today, and tells Yan to take a look at it. Yan reads the paper and is happy that finally there is some good news. Yan sees the report and says that he remembers that the company does not have a special material supplied, so why would they choose poor quality materials? Jang replies that to ensure the quality of their products now, they use new materials, but before of the bad profit, the supplier can't get the money back and he refused to cooperate. Yan is thinking that this is a big problem he overlooked while Jang explains to him that in the development test, only the machine needs to be able to pass the test and there is no high requirements for the material. Listening to this, Yan tells him send someone to pick up the treatment from the communication company, as they will definitely need a router. Jang is surprised that he didn't think of that because communications companies have to deal with a lot of information daily and just requires routers to transit signals in batches. He is still worried about material, but Yan tells him to leave it to him and he will find a better partner as soon as possible. Later he is walking down the street while thinking that the Tang family is best to be Nebula's partner, but he is not sure if I will agree to cooperate with him or not. He comes out of his thoughts when he hears the shouts of a woman and sees Ajin being dragged by a man on the street. He recognizes her from the sales department of Blue Water Bay and is confused about why she is at a bar now. Some people tell the man to put the girl down or they will call the police, but he refuses to listen to them, saying that they should mind their own business or else he will kill them. Yan comes there and forces the man to leave the girl while saying that it is too much for him to be doing this in the broad daylight. The man says that he wants the woman that Ma likes. Yan is surprised to hear the name of Ma again and says that he owe him the next time they meet, and then squeezes the man's arm in his hand. The man shouts in pain, so Yan finally lets him go and tells him to go away, saying that he should make sure to not appear in his sight again. Yan then turns to Ajin, who thanks him for his help, and he asks her why is she here and not at her work at the housing sales center. She tells him that today is her day off, but her dad's condition has worsened recently and he needs money for the surgery, so she is using her free time to work a second job. He then asks her if she knows Ma, to which she replies that she don't know him well, but he just wanted to support her the first time he saw her here, but she refused, so he kept coming after her. And today if Yan didn't saved her, they would have taken her with them. He says that it is okay and she should go home to take rest. As she goes back inside the bar, Yan calls Lai Biao and tells him to find someone to keep an eye on Ma, as he should be in the hospital right now. Meanwhile, in the hospital, Ma is lying on the bed injured, talking to Ilixil, who is sitting beside his bed. He says that he have made the arrangement for the bar as she said, and then tells her to sit a little closer to him. Ilixil instead replies that he is anxious, but Yan has just taken the bait, which means that the good shows hasn't started yet. Ma says that what should he do if the bar miscalculates, as Yan came to him again at that time, but he didn't deserve the loss. Ilixil says that he shouldn't forget she is the one helping him to take revenge, and says that Yan is very deep in love with her, so as long as she apologized to him, he will definitely be soft. Ilixil is later standing by a window as she calls Yan and says that she wants to invite him for a dinner. She says that at the hotel today, it was her fault, so she wants to apologizes to him and it will also be their last parting. She says that let's meet at her restaurant they had their first date at, and after hanging up the phone, she turns to Ma and tells him that everything is fine and Ajin will leave it to him. She then says that she wants 30 million when the job is done and he will also gets what he wants. Meanwhile, Yan is sitting at his house, thinking that it seems like two people want to work together to set him up. He then asks system how many survival points does it really need to upgrade, to which the system tells that it need almost 20 more points to complete the upgrade. He again asks how many survival points can be exchanged for 30 millions, to which the system says that 10 survival points can be exchanged for 10 million, so 30 million are enough to upgrade the system. Yan is shocked to hear this, as he is thinking about how many survival points the system secretly deduct from him, and then says to the system that they should take this opportunity to upgrade the system, as he also WNAT to know what it can really become. He then calls Kang and asks him to find some information for him, saying that it will be useful for them tomorrow. At night he goes to the Western restaurant to meet Ilixil, who after seeing him quickly says that she ordered all his favorite food and asks him if he would like to have a drink. She then apologizes to him for the recent events, and before he could reply to her, the system notify him that the system detected the sleeping pills in the red wine, but the host has received the inheritance of the Lord God, so there is a certain degree of poison resistance, and this amount of medicine will not pose any threat to him. Yan picks up the glass of wine and after taking a sip says to Ilixil that it doesn't matter and they should let the past go. Ilixil adds that she never thought they would end up like this, and she had imagined about how their life would be after marriage. Yan says that after marriage it should be her family asking him for money until it crushed him and forces him to die. She is angry by his statement and is waiting for him to pass out, as he asks if he said something wrong. She replies that she only have a brother, to which Yan asks her if her family have a throne for him to inherit. Ilixil says that he is her only brother, so he shall be spoiled, while thinking to herself that Ma said that this dose will be enough for 3 people, but it is not working on Yan. Suddenly Yan passes out. And that's how the first part of this man ends. Well guys, if you like this video and you want a second part, comment below with the word part 2. Also subscribe to the channel, hit the bell and like the video. But most important, leave a comment. Until the next video.